sun is. The nuclear reaction take place in the sun is this 4 1 is 1 twice H4 plus twice 1 is 0 plus 26.7. Okay, that means you need to mention this reaction as well as mention about the nuclear fusion reaction. That means nuclear fusion reaction take place in the core of the sun, and so the energy is liberated during nuclear fusion. Okay. Question number 7. What is acid rain? Acid rain means the atmospheric layer contains, okay, oxide of sulfur, oxide of nitrogen, which combine with the water, okay, which combine with the water forms acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, also the halogen or hydrogen that forms hydrochloric acid. Okay, that means due to due to different pollutants, okay, the polluted air contains different oxides of sulfur, nitrogen. Okay, these are combining with the rainwater. Okay, rainwater, then it forms acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, like that. Okay, this that type of rain is known as acid rain. Acid rain भनेको basically के हो भन्दाखेरि nitrous oxide, sulfur dioxide, which combine with the rainfall, rain water droplets, okay, water drop, then it forms the acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, like that. Okay, this acid when mixed up and falls with the rain water, that is known as acid rain. Because of this acid rains, it is harmful to the different monuments, or it is harmful to the plants. Okay. When the air pollutants like oxide of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, and halogens are released in the atmosphere by various means, there is high into atmosphere. When there is there, they react with water vapor or rain droplets to form different types of acid like sulfuric acid, nitric acid. Okay, basically sulfuric or nitric acid and hydrochloric acid. Okay, that means now when the rainfall occurs, these acids are mixed with the rainwater, and rain is more acidic. The acidic rain is called the acid rain. We have reaction of how to form the acids. By the polluted air. Adverse effect. It increases the soil acidity and reduces the crop yield. Respiratory and skin diseases are caused. Acid rain corrodes building, monuments, bridges, etc. It causes bacterial diseases. Okay.
Sir, all mathi garnu.
Okay. Okay, next is global warming. Global warming means it is the unexpected rise of temperature of the Earth's surface, okay? So that it is difficult to survive. That is known as global warming. It is because the infrared radiation which comes from the sun or any uh, mm, from the solar system which are blocked by the ozone layer, okay, and there is a layer below the ozone or carbon layer is there, if the carbon layer, the layer of carbon is becomes thin, in that case it does not trap the heat to the surface. Okay, that means the heat on the surface due to infrared radiation, which is obtained by the different sources. Okay, infrared radiation which is obtained by different sources may escape from the earth surface, so that the temperature of the earth goes on decreasing. That means temperature is very low. If we deplete the carbon layer, in that case the temperature of the earth becomes very low. But if we increase the carbon content, if the layer of carbon is very thick, in that case, okay, if the layer of carbon is very thick and the ozone layer is very thin, in that case infrared radiation which comes from exterior space also enter into the earth surface, and the infrared radiation which is infrared radiation from different sources also trap in the earth atmosphere. Okay, because of that temperature of the earth rises drastically, and the life on earth may not be possible because of the very high temperature. Okay, that is known as global warming. भनेको कार्बन कार्बन डाइअक्साइडको लेयर कम भयो भने भेरी कोल्ड हुन्छ, बुझ्यो नि। अब लेयर चाहिँ थिन भयो भने हिट ट्र्याप हुन सक्दैन, जसले गर्दा temperature of the earth becomes very low. And if the layer of carbon dioxide is increased, okay, in that case heat trapped on the earth surface is very high, and because of that temperature rises drastically, so it is difficult to survive on the earth. That means life on earth is not possible because of very high temperature. That is known as global warming. Okay, the increasing temperature on the earth surface of the earth is called global warming. The concentration of greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide, is increased significantly each year due to various human activities like transportation, industrialization. Because of this, the temperature on the surface of the earth goes on increasing by trapping more and more infrared radiation. This rise of global temperature. The rise of global temperature about 0.3 to 0.7 degrees centigrade was recorded during the last century. Okay, that means earth surface को temperature एकदमै rise भएर लाइफ पोसिबल नहुने अवस्थालाई हामी भन्छौँ ग्लोबल वार्मिङ। ओके, अब यसमा दुईटा फ्याक्टर हुँदो रहेछ। एउटा चाहिँ कार्बन डाइअक्साइडको लेयर, द्याट लेयर बिकम्स थिक एन्ड द ओजोन लेयर बिकम्स थिन। ओके, even we produce a large amount of infrared radiation on the earth causes the global warming. Effect of global warming. It causes melting of polar ice and rise in sea level worldwide. It causes widespread extinction of species. Temperature high भयो भने different species हरुको extinction हुन सक्छ। It causes deforestation, especially tropical forest for wood, farmland, etc. Okay. Okay, greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect means the radiation of the infrared radiation which comes from the sun at the very short wavelength. Okay, when it enters into the glass, that means glass house. In that case, these infrared radiation which are absorbed by the plant inside the glass house, and these plants also radiate the infrared radiation, okay, which have the greater wavelength. Because of having short wavelength, the infrared radiation enter into the greenhouse, and it turns into the infrared radiation of longer wavelength. While entering into it, it turns into the infrared radiation of longer wavelength. Because of that, it cannot escape from the greenhouse, okay, from the glasses. भनेको ग्लासमा हामीले ट्र्याप गरेको छ भने ग्लास भित्र इन्टर गर्छ because having the short wavelength of that infrared radiation. But when this infrared radiation absorbed by the plant inside the glass, then in that case these plants also radiate the infrared radiation, okay, but with longer wavelength. Because of that, this radiation may not escape from the glass house, okay. Then the temperature of that house increases. That is known as greenhouse, okay. That type of house is known as greenhouse, and that effect is known as greenhouse effect. That effect is known as greenhouse effect. Where are they? A greenhouse, it is a house whose walls are made up of green glasses. When the solar radiation falls upon the greenhouse, they can enter into the house but cannot escape out of it, okay. Thus radiation were trapped by the greenhouse. Greenhouse effect: when the solar radiation passed through the atmosphere and reached the Earth's surface, it is absorbed by the Earth's surface and is emitted back into the atmosphere in the form of longer wavelength, so that these radiations were trapped by the gases in the troposphere, due to which heating of the Earth's surface takes place. Thus, the heating of the Earth's atmosphere due to trapped radiation is called the greenhouse effect. The gases responsible for the greenhouse effect are CO2, CH4, water vapors, carbon, chlorofluorocarbon, etc. भनेको मतलब सोलर सन अथवा सोलर सिस्टमबाट आएको इन्फ्रारेड रेडिएसन के हुँदो रहेछ? When it enters into the Earth atmosphere, then in that case it becomes into infrared radiation of longer wavelength, okay. Then it cannot escape from the Earth atmosphere, that is from troposphere. Because of that, the temperature of the Earth's surface increases. That is known as greenhouse effect. That is known as greenhouse effect. भनेको मतलब actually greenhouse effect भनेको it is the phenomena by which the temperature of the that small greenhouse or that Earth, okay. Earth पनि हामी greenhouse को रूपमा लिन सक्छौं, which is covered by the different layer of carbon dioxide, okay, carbon dioxide, methane, water vapor, like that. भनेको हामी हाम्रो ट्रोपोस्फियर मा के हुन्छ? डिफरेंट एटमोस्फेरिक लेयर छ. हैन डिफ्रेन्ट एटमोस्फेरिक लेयरले गर्दा के हुँदो रहेछ कार्बनको डिफ्रेन्ट कार्बन कम्पाउन्डको लेयरमा इन्फ्रारेड रेडिएसन आयो भने सर्ट वेभलेन्थको इन्फ्रारेड रेडिएसन इन्टर गर्छ while it strike on the earth surface that is absorbed by the green plants like that, and when it emits, then it becomes it turns into the longer wavelength radiation. It cannot escape from the earth atmosphere, then the temperature of the earth increases. That is known as greenhouse effect. Sources of greenhouse effect ma carbon content one element or various CO2 releasing activities, burning of fossil fuel, that is coal, oil, natural gas, thermal power plants. Carbon content or produce then in that case greenhouse effect may occur. CS4 releasing activities, domestic waste and sewage, chlorofluorocarbon releasing activities, deforestation and reduction of ground cover. त्यसले गर्दाखेरि के हुन्छ greenhouse effect हुन्छ. अब effect of greenhouse effect, spreading of diseases like malaria, filariasis, increase the temperature of the atmosphere and causes global warming, changes the climate pattern, reduce the crop productivity. यसको controlling action, how to control the greenhouse effect, using biogas for domestic purpose. भनेको कार्बन कन्टेन्टहरु कम हुने खालको हामीले चाहिँ फ्युलहरु युज गर्यो भने it reduces. Banning the use of chlorofluorocarbon, reducing the use of fossil fuels, increasing the forestation. Increasing the forestation भनेको हरियो बोट बिरुवाहरुलाई हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो बढी मात्रामा forestation गर्नु पर्यो. That means divide the deforestation. Okay. No, greenhouse effect. নতুন তো নতুন জানে বুঝতে চাহন বুঝে Okay, next is ozone layer and its importance. Ozone layer means it is a thick layer formed by the ozone in the stratosphere, troposphere, and then stratosphere. At that layer, ultraviolet radiation comes from the sun and that solar system blocked by the ozone. Okay, that means it protects us from the ultraviolet radiation, which are harmful to the living beings. These are absorbed by the ozone. Okay, these are absorbed by the ozone. These are absorbed by the ozone. So it acts as a protective umbrella for the living organism on the earth. That means very harmful radiation, which causes the different skin diseases. Okay, different types of diseases that are blocked. Ultraviolet radiation are blocked by the ozone layer. Okay, its formation mechanism is O2, oxygen plus. When it combined with the oxide, okay, that means O2 plus O, it forms O3. Okay. Ozone layer depletion. Ozone layer depletion means because of different elements, different component produced on the earth, this deplete the ozone layer. Means this react with the ozone. Let's say chlorine react with the ozone, it forms chloride oxide and oxygen. ClO, it breaks down into Cl plus O2. The ozone layer in the stratosphere is gradually being depleted due to the action of Cl3. Effect of ozone depletion. If the ozone layer is depleted, the harmful ultraviolet radiation reaches the earth in excess amount and causes various destructive effects: skin burning, skin lungs, and breast cancer, leukemia, cataracts, etc. in humans, damage of DNA leading to mutation, eye cancer in cattle, loss of various plants from terrestrial relating to earth and dry land and aquatic habitat, loss of crop productivity, greenhouse effect, and significant changes in climate conditions. Right. Protection of ozone layer by banning the production and usage of chlorofluorocarbon, okay? By avoiding the foam product, lightweight form of rubber and plastic, and finding their alternatives. By bringing the awareness of ozone depletion in public, by finding the alternatives for chlorofluorocarbon products. Okay. Okay. This was for today. Thank you. यो नोट मैले हाम्रो गुगल क्लासरुममा पनि राखिदिएको छु है, कुरा बुझ्यो? नवीन राणाबाट, आर यु देयर नवीन?
Yes, sir.
मैले यो नोट गुगल क्लासरुममा पनि राखिदिएको छु है,
हजुर सर।
त्यहाँबाट हेर्दा हुन्छ है सबैजनाले। सदीक्षा अधिकारी, आर यु देयर?
Yes, sir.
गुगल क्लासरुम चेक गर्यौ?
हजुर सर।
त्यहाँ मैले राखिदिएको छु, यो सबै छ के, बुझ्यो?
हजुर सर, हुन्छ।
अनि उता दयराम सरले कता पुर्याउनु भयो? सिद्धिनला होला हैन, युनिभर्स?
हजुर सर, सकियो त्यसले सर।
ल अब यो कोर्स सिद्धे जस्तै हो। अब यो भइन्जेल हामी अब अर्को दिन पोल्युसनको डिस्क्राइब गर्छौं। त्यहाँ मैले नोट राखिदिएको छु, सबै सेक्सनलाई हेर्न मिल्छ, गुगल क्लासरुममा छ, क्वेसन आन्सरको फर्ममा छ है, त्यहाँबाट हेर्दै हुन्छ, टिप्नु पर्दैन। ओके, थ्यांक यू फर योर प्रेजेन्स, थ्यांक यू अल, बाई।